Hey everybody, welcome to the channel and thank you so much for joining me for a visit to Shenandoah National Park, which is located in the state of Virginia, only about 75 miles southwest of Washington, D.C. Before we continue, let's take in this incredible view. As we head along Skyline Drive, which is the main road in the park, we'll get straight into the park summary. Shenandoah National Park was established in 1935 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, but the initial steps to creating the park actually go back to the Coolidge administration. The park sees about 1.7 million visitors each year, but I didn't find crowds to be a problem at all here. As for features, Shenandoah protects a 105-mile section of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we saw another section of those mountains at Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Skyline Drive and the Appalachian Trail essentially run along the crest of the mountains, which are covered in hardwood forest. At this park, there's more than 500 miles of hiking trails, a bunch of scenic overlooks, and quite a few waterfalls, so there's a lot you can do here. For wildlife in this video, I'm gonna get you up close to a vulture and we'll see a deer, but that's all. You should know that there are black bears in this park and also venomous snakes, so you need to be aware of those. Getting to the weather, you are at a higher elevation within the park, so in the winter time it can get cool here, but the plus side is the summers aren't all that hot. If it does snow in the winter time, some trails may be closed. Also, there's not really a dry season here, so I check the rain forecast before visiting. And finally, for cell service, you should be able to get at least 4G throughout the park, so that shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Taking a quick look at the park map, you can see Shenandoah is a very long and skinny national park. It's 105 miles in length, stretching from Front Royal in the north to Waynesboro in the south. You can basically divide the park into quarters between the north and south entrances and the Thornton and Swift Run gaps. In my opinion, most of the main areas of the park are going to be located between Swift Run and Thornton Gap. That's where you have Old Rag. Now, we're not going to hike Old Rag in this video, but Old Rag would probably be the signature hike of this park. The locations we will visit, however, are Hawksbill, the highest peak in the park, Dark Hallow Falls, and Bearfence Mountain. Now, as I mentioned, the park scenic drive is Skyline Drive, and there are more than 100 overlooks along the 105-mile drive. Thinking back to Great Smoky Mountains, the southern end of the Blue Ridge Parkway actually connects with that park, and you can kind of think of Shenandoah and Skyline Drive as being the northern end of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I appreciate you so much for taking a few moments here to go over the park summary and take a look at the park map. If you found any of that information helpful, if you could please do me a small favor by liking the video. Now, we will be taking a small break from national parks over the next few videos, but there's still a lot more national park content coming, so if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much, and let's continue with the video. Now, before we get to our first hike, let's check in with our vulture friend. I appreciate him giving me that little peek back so I could get that shot there. As we make our way over to Bearfence Mountain, Shenandoah is a little bit of a uniquely named national park. The park gets its name from Shenandoah Valley, and there are actually quite a few legends over the naming of the valley. One of those legends is that Shenandoah Valley was named by George Washington to honor a Native American chief known as Shenandoah of the Oneida tribe, and he fought against the British and Iroquois during the American Revolution. There's also another legend that says the name actually comes from from an Iroquois chief named Shenandoah. And there's also a variety of Native American terms that mean either the river through the spruces, the river of the high mountains, silver water, big meadows, but I believe the most accepted one is the Native American expression for beautiful daughter of the stars. So you can take your pick as to just what Shenandoah actually means. So now we've made it to Bearfence Mountain, and let's get on the trail. Okay. Very clearly says no pets. Let's see how many pets we see on the trail. And in the comments below, let me know how many pets you'll think you'll see on the trail as I walk it. All right, let's go. Oh, and by the way, we're going to take the easy route on here because of time. Even though there are about 10 trails at Shenandoah that do not allow dogs, Bearfence being one of them, Shenandoah is actually one of the more pet-friendly national parks. Many of the rocks on this trail are quite sharp and jagged, so you definitely want to have a sturdy pair of hiking shoes or boots before hiking on this trail. Now, I did mess up a little bit. The appeal of this hike is actually a rock scramble, and as I was trying to cram in as much as I could on this day, I took the easy route. While I did make it to the viewpoint, I did miss out on some additional views. Okay, so did come across somebody with a dog on the trail, and it's not, I'm not a park ranger, and so it's up to the Park Service to deal with that stuff. But anyways, I was right, I would see somebody on this trail that had a dog. Now that we've completed Bearfence Mountain, now let's head over to Big Meadows for our second hike, which is going to be to Dark Hallow Falls. This trail is pretty steep going down, but you do get quite a good workout on the way back up, as you'll see here. This hike's a pretty good workout. I'm pushing myself pretty hard on it. I mean, I'm not big into hiking. It's all about the payoff. But I think we're making pretty good time up it. Great workout, I tell you that. I'm going to try to catch my breath as we drive over to our third hike, which is going to be Hawksbill, and that's the highest peak within the park. Here's that deer I mentioned. Let's head to the summit to check out the view. Again, just a terrific view up here, and despite the crowds, I would say it worked out pretty well. Heading back to the van, we'll take a view of the forest here a little bit, and then try to rush to get in an overlook to view sunset.
It was pretty cool how the sun was lighting up the forest here. The thing about, I have a choice to where I can go to a bunch of national parks, or I can spend a lot of time in one, and I just kind of feel like it's better to go and see as many parks as I can. I mean, I already kind of got an idea of the parks I like, big mountains, rivers, lakes, stuff like that. Sorry, I thought I saw Bigfoot just for a second. I'm tired. Anyways, so I'm thinking Stony Man. I'm thinking we're gonna have to pass on that. I'll just have to gauge it when I get up there. But there's only about 30 minutes of light left. You can see how dark it's getting. So maybe next time, but I don't know. Let's just see. But I definitely want to hit these last 3 overlooks, and then we'll head out of the park.
And I ended up misjudging it a little bit, but I think we got an okay view of sunset. On this day, I was only able to do about 70 or so of the 105 miles of Skyline Drive before sundown. So I overnighted for the night at a Walmart in Front Royal, which was one of the shadiest Walmarts I've ever stayed at. But I made it through the night okay. Now, while I personally felt like I explored enough of the park on the first day, it didn't seem right to me not to finish those last 35 miles. So for the next day, we'll stop at some of the remaining overlooks, and we'll also get into the recommendation and top tips for Shenandoah National Park. Shenandoah is a pretty good park, especially for the East Coast. Skyline Drive is an amazing drive, but the one thing is that you're kind of always on top of the mountains here, so there's not really a way to look up from the base of the mountains like you can, say, at Grand Teton, and the mountains here aren't nearly as large as the mountains out west. Nevertheless, I'd say visiting Shenandoah is still worth your while, especially during fall foliage season. Also, the hikes here do give you a good sense of adventure, and now that I'm a more experienced hiker, I think I'd definitely be up for coming back and completing the Old Rag hike. So in my opinion, Shenandoah is a destination park. Getting to some top tips, as I said, I regret I didn't do Old Rag. You should know that there is a day use permit required for Old Rag between March and November, and you can get those permits at recreation.gov. Now, there are no caverns, as far as I understand, within the park, but there are some private caverns outside of the perimeter part. One of the best ones is going to be Luray Caverns. It's a pretty popular destination, so you may want to consider adding Luray Caverns to your itinerary if you visit the park. Now, when I got up early the second day to go back into the park, one of the saddest things I've seen on all my travels were the 24 or so squirrels that I saw that were run down as I was getting on Skyline Drive that second morning. Please follow the speed limits and give the squirrels a break. There's really no need just to run them down. As for how long to visit, I think for this park you really need about 3 days. Old Rag is going to take an entire day, and then for the 2 other days that would allow you to stop at all the overlooks you'd like, and then maybe complete an additional 3 or 4 hikes if you're up for that. For sunset, I probably should have hung around Hawksbill, so that would be my suggestion. For sunrise, I would say I'd go with either Old Rag or Bearfence Mountain. Those would both be good places to start your day. And for boondocking, there's boondocking available in both Front Royal and Waynesboro. I actually stayed at a Cracker Barrel in Waynesboro, and you saw the Walmart in Front Royal. But there's a variety of boondocking available around the park, so shouldn't be a problem at all. And with all that said, let's check out this finer overlook of the park.
That's a fantastic view, isn't it? So we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap on Shenandoah National Park. I appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks and take care. Bye.